12 News Eye on Agriculture with Britton Rucker.
Wildfires in the Texas Panhandle reportedly killed thousands of cattle. But what does that mean for beef prices? What experts at Texas A&M are saying. Plus, as we get into the 2024 growing season, lots of eyes are on two things: fertilizer and diesel prices, where experts predict those prices going just ahead. And
in 2021, I paid $1.25 for my diesel fuel. Last year, I paid almost $5.
And speaking of diesel prices, it's what caused some California almond farmers to file for bankruptcy, and likely more to follow. Well, that story just ahead on Eye on Agriculture. Good evening and welcome into Eye on Agriculture. I'm Britton Rucker. Turning now to the latest from those devastating wildfires in Texas. Firefighters in the Lone Star State still battling the latest and largest wildfire in Texas's history. The Smokehouse Fire, which has been burning for more than a week, has already burned more than 1 million acres of land in the Texas Panhandle. And as of Friday morning, that fire is still only 74% contained. Authorities estimate as many as 500 homes and businesses have been lost to the flames, and thousands of cattle.
We desperately need federal aid. Unfortunately, 10 years ago, we also had a wildfire come through Fritch. We were not large enough last time for government aid. We desperately need to be large enough for government aid this time.
Officials in Texas now saying power lines ignited the fires in the Texas Panhandle. Texas A&M Forest Service saying investigators concluded power lines ignited the Smokehouse Creek Fire and Windy Deuce Fire. Xcel Energy also saying in a news release its equipment appeared to have played a role in starting the fire. Wildfires in the Texas Panhandle reportedly killed thousands of cattle, like we mentioned, but what does it mean for prices at the grocery store? One Texas A&M Extension economist saying the fires will not impact the beef cattle markets for consumers. He says while some were under the impression a significant percent of the entire Texas cattle herd was lost, he says that's not really the case. However, he says cost could mount very quickly for ranchers that were in the path of that fire, including replacing lost cattle and things such as fencing. This week, Governor Laura Kelly approved updated drought declarations for Kansas counties. While a majority of the state have seen significant relief from drought since August, central and southeast Kansas continues to be in severe drought. The declaration removes all 55 counties previously in emergency status and places 15 counties into a warning status and 62 into a watch status. In a statement, Governor Kelly says while drought conditions have improved greatly in recent months, many counties continue to be negatively impacted by the decline in water supply or strains on water resources. I strongly encourage all Kansans to continue to conserve water as we head into the summer months. Almond farmers in California say they are in a crisis. Some have begun filing for bankruptcy. Our sister station KOVR has a story.
Been here my whole life.
Generation after generation.
What you're seeing now with the trees.
Bill Van Ryan's family has been growing almonds in the San Joaquin Valley.
It has now come to the point where I see the end of that coming, that generational farming.
Crippled by costs.
In 2021, I paid $1.25 for my diesel fuel. Last year, I paid almost $5.
It's what's caused some California almond farmers to file for bankruptcy, and likely more to follow.
It's inevitable because it's a matter of if you can't bring in enough money for your crops, it doesn't pay for all the bills.
Van Ryan says 2 years ago, almonds were going for about $2.50 to $3 a pound. Now they're selling for $1.35 to $1.65 a pound, making it close to impossible to keep up with inflation.
We're not suffering from 10% inflation. We're suffering way harder.
That's why the acreage of almonds in California has been on the decline, falling from 1.65 million acres in 2021 to 1.56 million acres in 2023.
Going forward, I don't see almond acreage expanding. I see, if anything, it'll keep going down.
Executive Director for the San Joaquin Farm Bureau, Andrew Genesee, says shipping problems in 2020 led to carryover, which led to depressed prices.
You're looking well over 100,000 jobs that are tied directly and indirectly into just the almond marketing and almond farming.
It's really a domino effect for everyone in the almond business that generates $19.6 billion in gross revenue for the state every year.
Farmers are eternally optimistic.
Time will tell what these almond blooms will bring this year, as more growers say game over.
There's always going to be a better day in the weather and more opportunity, but it's become very difficult.
Still ahead, an insect farm is hatching a plan for a greener way to feed animals, and it includes breeding millions of flies. We have that story just ahead on Eye on Agriculture.